Get absorbed into the fashion police universe by solving fashion crimes, collecting swag, and drinking mocktails right off the street. Work through a dozen levels full of fashion crimes by using satisfying attire-altering weapons. Switch weapons on the fly and plan out your attack to take out the most unstylish perpetrators first. So this game has a retro shooter look to it, and it looks fast-paced. Think old school Doom minus the blood and guts, but instead a healthy dose of fabulous. Fashion Police Squad comes to Steam and Epic on August 15th and has a Steam demo available now. An original hybrid shooter skater that blends high-octane visceral combat with fluid movement and tricking mechanics into one complementary and challenging whole. Discover a mysterious, sinister plot in this distinct retro future universe. Rollerdrome is a sport that exists to numb the public while the corporations run rampant. This game has visuals that remind me of the recent release Sable, but the action is on an entirely different scale. Solve the mystery of the Matterhorn Corporation's true intentions when Rollerdrome comes to the PlayStations and Steam on August 16th. Lily's back for a new, classic action-adventure set hundreds of years after The Sleeping King. Grandpa's latest tale takes you on a journey through haunted forests, pirate shores, and other mysterious lands across a vast open world. Charming towns, terrible enemies, tricky puzzles, and powerful weapons await you. I never played the original Blossom Tales, but remember folks considering it as a very solid Link to the Past-like experience. I honestly should take a look at both, as I think I'd enjoy them. Blossom Tales 2: The Minotaur Prince comes to Switch and Steam on August 16th. Become the new owner of a hunting lodge nestled among gorgeous habitats and rich animal populations. Explore vast open-world environments across the US and Europe. Hunt with a premium selection of firearms and equipment. Enjoy the perfect hunt on your own or with a friend in multiplayer co-op. While I'm not a hunter, I married into a hunting family, and most of my friends hunt extensively. This is way more up my alley because I don't like to be cold, I don't like to be dirty, and I'd rather not think about how my food ended up on my plate. Way of the Hunter comes to PS5, Series X and S, Steam, and Epic on August 16th. Pitch, slide, slam, and rally your way to Williamsport glory as you compete to become the World Series champion of Little League. Play local multiplayer with friends, use bonuses like Slow Time and Bat Tank to turn the tide of a game, and customize your team's look, equipment, and batting style. This game reminds me a lot of the old backyard baseball games from the 2000s, and it could be a really good alternative for kids that aren't ready or interested in playing a sim like MLB The Show. Little League World Series Baseball 2022 comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 17th. Jack and Ella are on vacation on a beautiful tropical island. After being interrupted by Dr. Brutus's voice, a loud explosion destroys the kiosk where they were relaxing, and so they decide to make the bad guy pay for it. Thus begins their new adventure. That story setup isn't super, but it's not really meant to be. From the trailer, I get Jetpack Joyride vibes mixed with a typical side-scrolling action game with tons of gems to collect while you work your way through the levels. Despite its cute, colorful aesthetic, this looks like it could be a pretty tough game. DynaBomb 2 comes to the PlayStations, Switch, and Xboxes on August 17th. It's 1989 and the flames of a new war are flaring up. Thousands of square miles of German landscape will become a stage for sweeping battles between the best NATO and Warsaw Pact has to offer. Lead your regiment through the inferno of a wide-scale Cold War conflict in this real-time tactics game. I don't dabble in RTS much, but those of you with a military mindset might have something to look forward to when Regiments comes to Steam on August 17th. Define your own path and survive until you reach whatever end lies ahead of you by swerving, drifting, and flying across traps and obstacles while avoiding the abyss. But there's a catch. The world is disintegrating at your heels. Better go fast or you might not make it. Neodash looks fast and frantic in the best way possible. I see some Rocket League in the way that you control your car through the air. An old Xbox 360 game called Grip also comes to mind when I see the ability to drive on the ceiling. Add the fact that the world is ending directly behind you and the anxiety ticks way up. Neodash comes to Steam on August 17th. When a once thriving kingdom is infested by terrifying monsters, it's up to the mysterious character known only as Corvus to find out why. Wielding the power of disease as a weapon, Corvus must fight his way through the dark and desolate kingdom while trying to recover his lost memories along the way. Now, in a post-Elden Ring world, new Souls-like games are going to be even more scrutinized for what they have or don't have. I hope Thymesia has what it takes to set itself apart from the other entries in the genre, and based on the trailer, I'm encouraged by what I see. Thymesia comes to PS5, Series X and S, and Steam on August 18. Play as the cursed golfer trapped in golf purgatory after a freak accident takes you out as you're about to take the winning shot of an international tournament. Legend says that playing through the devious courses across Gulf Purgatory will get you back to the land of the living and, more importantly, to the trophy you were about to win. Now, I love the Stickman Golf series on iOS. It's one of the very few games I've spent a chunk of time playing on my phone. Cursed to Golf reminds me of that game, but with a few more mechanics and abilities sprinkled in. Cursed to Golf comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 18th. It also has a Steam demo available now. From indie pop band OFK comes the story of how four friends came together to release their debut EP without throwing their phones at walls in frustration. An interactive making of the band series about dreaming, dating, and paying rent in Los Angeles. I'm not familiar with the band OFK, so I went over to Apple Music to check out the only song they have up, I assume, until the game launches, and I dug it. This game is also unique in that it's being released episodically for 5 weeks, and each will include a new song. We Are OFK comes to the PlayStations and Switch on August 18th. Need a vacation? Want to try something new? Are you a psychopath? If you can say yes to each of these, then Slaycation Paradise is the perfect place for you. Combining tower defense and twin-stick shooter mechanics, Slaycation Paradise promises to provide you with the end-of-the-world scenarios you've always dreamed of. It seems like the kind of game that's sole purpose is to make you smile. I also can't recall a game prior to this that melds tower defense and twin sticks mechanics, but admittedly, I don't dive too deep into either of those two kinds of games. Slaycation Paradise comes to the PlayStations, Switch, Steam, and Epic on August 18th. There's a Steam demo available now as well. Zookeeper is a game in which the player takes on the role of zoo owner. Your main task is to manage the zoo in such a way as to make it as popular as possible with the staff and visitors. Add enclosures, build structures, and as the zoo becomes more popular, expand your square footage by buying up additional land. I'm not sure what differentiates this game from something like Zoo Tycoon, as I don't dabble too much with management games, but those looking to take care of penguins, antelope, and dinosaurs, Zookeeper comes to Steam on August 18th. The yearly mainstay, Madden Football, is back for the 2023 season. This year introduces a new gameplay system called Field Sense, which is supposed to give the player more control at every position in every mode, but is only available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. It's no secret I've been critical of this franchise for the last decade or so. To me, it feels like the yearly sports release that tries the least to differentiate itself from past entries. This is also the first entry since the great John Madden passed away, and while he hasn't been directly involved in the games for a long time, I can't help but feel like his absence will be even more noticed this year. Madden 23 comes to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Steam, and Epic on August 19th. While some are destined to be great heroes, others swing and miss. Meet Sir Whoopass, a try-hard hero with a heart of gold who, due to a series of hilarious and astoundingly poor life choices, manages to bring chaos and disarray to a utopian world. Now, if Serious Sam went into combat with a battle axe and medieval armor and a third-person perspective, we might then have Sir Whoopass. I'm a huge fan of Serious Sam, so that is intended to be a huge compliment coming from me. Sir Whoopass comes to Steam on August 19th. A Walk with YiaYia is a light adventure game / visual novel about taking your Greek grandmother on a walk around the neighborhood after she's lost her confidence from having a scary fall. Peaceful, serene, calming is what comes to mind when I watch this trailer, but that should be no surprise for a game shown off during 2022's Wholesome Direct. A Walk with YiaYia comes to Switch and Steam on August 20th. Welcome to Santo Ileso, a vibrant, fictional city in the heart of the American Southwest. In a world rife with crime where lawless factions fight for power, a group of young friends embark on their own criminal venture as they rise to the top in their bid to become self-made. The closer Saints Row gets to release, the more excited I get. This reboot looks to reset things a bit, which I think is great because the last couple Saints Row games have been a bit too zany for my liking. Saints Row comes to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Epic on August 23rd. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is a charmingly humorous quiz game based on the popular TV franchise. Multiple choice questions, true or false challenges, and minigames will test your proficiency in 24 different subjects. Faced with a tough question, you can always rely on your classmates for help. Now, is this show still around? Is Jeff Foxworthy still doing it? I have so many questions. I guess we can include it as one of the 6,800 questions offered in the game. Get shown up by a child when Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, Steam, and Epic on August 23rd. Yars Recharged is the fully modern update to the Atari 2600 classic Yars Revenge. Dodge projectiles and nibble away at the enemy's shields to power up the mighty Zorlon cannon. Take down the Kotile space stations in this frantic bullet swarm shooter. Level the playing field by teaming up with a friend in two-player co-op mode. As much as I pride myself on knowing the history of games, it's a big ol' swing and a miss on Yars. Seeing the trailer doesn't ring any bells either, but it does make me want to try this game at some point. Yars Recharged comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 23rd. Fight your way across the city in a brutal romp that mixes old-school brawlers, fast-paced motion-captured combat, customizable skills, and a challenge level inspired by Dark Souls. Use fists, feet, knives, pipes, pistols, machine guns, and more to wade through the piles of enemies on your way to victory. If I were to dive into a beat-em-up, it would be one like this. I love the variety of hand-to-hand combat, firearms, and even vehicle-focused segments. The soundtrack is banging, which I guess you'll just have to take my word on. Midnight Fight Express comes to PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Steam on August 23rd. It'll also be a day one offering on Game Pass. SD Gundam Battle Alliance is an action RPG that allows players to battle super deformed versions of mobile suits from the Gundam series. The story takes place in G-Universe, a world where Gundam canon twists and turns in ways no one can predict. To correct this world's distorted history, the player leads a 3-unit squadron consisting of mobile suits and pilots from across Gundam history, a true battle alliance. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about Gundam. If you like Gundam, SD Gundam Battle Alliance comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 25th. There's also a demo available for Switch and Xbox One. Spend your teenage years on an alien planet in this narrative deck-building RPG with a time loop twist. Explore, grow up, and fall in love over and over and over. The choices you make and skills you master over 10 years will determine the course of your life and the survival of your colony. I really like what I see from the trailer for this game. It seems to blend several different mechanics, the painterly art direction looks really good, and the deck-building mechanics seem interesting to boot. I Was A Teenage Exocolonist comes to the PlayStations, Switch, and Steam on August 25th. A flotilla of 3 space arcs set off for a distant planet. An emergency has occurred on your arc. The entire team has been infected with a mysterious virus, and the life supports are damaged. Trying to save the dying ship, artificial intelligence brings the first colonist out of suspended animation. You need to guide the colonists stealthily through the derelict ship. If one dies, another takes their place. But there's only so many colonists available. While this doesn't seem like the deepest game on the list, failure definitely has consequences here. Starless comes to Steam on August 25th and has a demo available now. Monster Outbreak is a top-down, pixel art survival game. Take control of YiaYia, the last surviving member of the Royal Guard, and confront the endless monster hordes spawned by the Dimensional Orb. Gear up, prepare defenses, lay down traps, cook a possible last meal, and try to stay alive. Go at it alone or enlist fellow survivors using local split screen or online multiplayer. Pixel art always piques my interest, and Monster Outbreak specifically looks very, very good. I see some tower defense mechanics, but still can't help but be reminded of Vampire Survivor and 20 Minutes Till Dawn. Monster Outbreak comes to Switch, Steam, and Epic on August 25th. After receiving a cryptic email, Miss Kobayashi and her maids go to Takiya's house to investigate. There they are mysteriously sucked into the PC. Help them clear stages by banding together and using their wits to defeat the computer. Use a 3-fold attack or tag system to defeat the enemy and escape the game. If it's not abundantly clear what this game is based on that description in the title, I don't know what else to do for you. I'm kidding. This is a classic shoot-'em-up, a genre in which I could have a real good time for like 10 minutes. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid burst forth Choro-gon breath, good lord, comes to PS4 and Switch on August 25th. Dodge ghosts and other baddies, solve environmental puzzles, and collect items through the 6 areas of Ghost Island: Pirate, Ruins, Space, Funhouse, Factory, and Mansion, each featuring multiple levels and a unique boss battle challenge. This is a remake of the original Pac-Man world, which released on the original PlayStation back in 1999, which I don't remember ever playing myself. The game is drastically upgraded from its original release, as is shown off in the trailer. You'll have a chance to dive in for yourself on August 26th when Pac-Man World Re-Pac comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and PC. I'm just not clear on which storefront yet. Explore a supernatural RPG with stylish summoners and dark dangers lurking under the neon lights of a cyberpunk Japan. It is up to the agents of Ion to decrypt Destiny and save the world from apocalypse. I am unfamiliar with Soul Hackers, but after watching a couple videos on it, I realized that it is an offshoot of the popular Shin Megami Tensei series, much like Persona, and there are definitely similarities between the two. If you like your SMT with a distinct cyberpunk flair, then Soul Hackers 2 might be worth keeping your eye on. It releases on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 26th. Immerse yourself into the teams, tracks, tuning, and strategies, then strap into the driver's seat in your ultimate quest to become the champion among the true beasts of the strip. Including the top drivers and classes, an authentic NHRA experience, and physics-based drag racing, Speed For All strives to be the most realistic licensed drag racing game available. As a racing game fan, it's strange that the discipline that has the cars going literally the fastest has never really appealed to me, but these cars can eclipse 330 miles an hour. That's face-melting fast. NHRA Championship Drag Racing Speed For All comes to the PlayStations, Switch, the Xboxes, and Steam on August 26th. Return once again to classic monster catching and experience the complete Nexomon story with 2 epic adventures in one. Battle and tame more than 600 Nexomon from 9 elemental types that can be discovered through wild encounters and level-based evolution. My guess is that most Pokemon fans are aware of Nexomon's existence. I was not. I have no clue if this is a solid Pokemon-like, but it looks great from a visual standpoint, and without knowing the ins and outs of the monster collecting games, it looks pretty good to me. Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection comes to PS4, Switch, and Xbox One on August 26th. You may have noticed some changes with this video. 2 things specifically. First, we didn't cover all of August. What gives? Well, starting on August 28th, we'll be releasing weekly FutureDub videos covering the upcoming Monday through Sunday. The timing for this change means that the 29th, 30th, and 31st of August will be included in the first weekly video we roll out with September 1st through the 4th. The second thing you might have noticed is that there are no re-releases, DLCs, early access games, or expansions included in this video. To make the change to weekly videos, I had to cut something out. And that's the section I've decided to step away from, at least for now. The games that would have been included in that section will still be featured on the daily FutureDubs tweets, so be sure you're following that account to stay on top of those releases as well. I'm always looking for feedback, so let me know what you think of the new changes. For now, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, then we'll see you week after week. Have a great rest of August.